So, this video is not going to be that long. I'm going to keep it straight to the point. May not even, get a chance to pull out cards. But I got some messages and I have some texts just to draw more connections from. So, channeling that message I was getting was, forgive them for they know not what they do, right? Forgiveness before ascension. Yes, I'm aware of, we're all, many of us, because I'm speaking to the chosen, I'm speaking to, the pure in heart, I'm speaking to those, who are aware, who would be interested in this kind of information, for high vibrational reasons, right? So, the way that the story was told, right, about Christ consciousness, right? This is a person who was just living in their gifts, living out their gifts, 111, living in their individuality, honoring, their authentic selves, just going around, living, walking out their gifts, right? Doing what it is that they were, here to do, in this realm, this lifetime, right? So fulfilling their life purpose. This is what, Christ, is told that, how he was doing. So Christ consciousness is, forgive them for they know not what we do. Regardless of how many times we talk about forgiveness, a lot of us still struggle with really forgiving, right? And it becomes a struggle the more you have, reasons, or the more trespasses you experience from people and different people, and the degree and the intensity, of whatever it is, right? The betrayals, or you move on from old people, you meet new people, you experience it with new people, so it becomes very exhausting, there's a possibility to feel hopeless, or whatever. However, ultimately, we're going to have to forgive these people, for they know not what they do. Regardless of these people, knowing that they are being a pest to you, or harassing you, or bullying you, or stealing from you, antagonizing you, right? Because another thing we have to remember too is, the condition of people's vessel, the condition of people's soul, right? Their soul chamber, what's inside of their soul chamber, their heart chambers, right? And, that can be any entity. That can easily be, a devil or a demon entity. One of my fellow tribes, they want me to say de-evolved, because ultimately that's what, the individual is. However, we still have to keep in mind about the spirits that roam, the dark spirits and the dark entities that roam about, right? Just like we, channel our divine ancestors, and we work, or we have angels, surrounding us, helping us, wage, I'm not gonna say that, helping us, wage wars on things that are no longer, needed or necessary, moving forward, for us to return to, our natural equilibrium, and help other people, obtain, that balance within themselves, right? Thus, that balance with, nature and the earth, the planets, right? So helping people better understand themselves, take so much of the drama, the theatrics, out of it, and, bringing people to a more concrete perception of, understanding the way that, we, how we are governed, how we are influenced by nature, influenced by things that are truly our reflection, and, how the more that we really learn about these things is the more that we learn about ourselves, the more we learn about how to understand the world around us and the people, right? Why do people do what they do, and the more likely, the better chance we have to pull ourselves out of these repetitive patterns, that are ultimately detrimental to our health. So I think it's really cool that even in, astrology, they'll talk about, what is the exaltation of this sign or this planet? What is the detriment, right? So, what have we always known detriment to represent? And look, there's a yellow butterfly, so transformation, and then also Calimon, right? So what have we always known for detriment to, means for us? You know, it means like a decline, right? A decrease, you know, in health or stability, or something that was, you know, otherwise fine, right? But you know, is maybe it's some wear and tear on it, or is breaking down, right? Um, so that's what we mean by detrimental. You know, is it has potential to be harmful. It has potential to cause harm, to lead to harm, to, you know, those things, right? So that's why I think it's cool, you know, to really, really learn these things, so we just better understand why is it that when I experience this type of thing, when someone does this, when this kind of person or this particular person, why is it that they, you know, when they do it, when they say it, why do they have the kind of effect, even though otherwise you know, I'm pretty strong, you know, because I've experienced these kind of things before, you know, the two-faced energy, this, that, and the third, right? So the thing is, okay, you drawing those points is what you're supposed to do. However, you know, falling for that shit again, like, you know, falling for the emotion and shit, like, that's the part, you know, where we really, really, like, have to break through. Like, the final breakthrough is literally coming and sitting with the realization that there is literally some people who do not know what they do. So another message that I was getting the other day was that, you know, this is something that kind of happens naturally. It's not that you are always, you know, intentionally doing this, or, you know, trying to intentionally project, you know, your perceptions, right? But this is something that kind of naturally happens. Like, it's kind of like innately, right? Because it's inside of you. It's what you know the most, right? It's what you're most accustomed to, what you're most used to, or what you're most used to. So what that is our way of seeing things, the way that we see things, you know, our way of understanding things, the knowledge and the wisdom that we have, or, you know, some of us, you know, having old souls, and, you know how the saying common sense isn't common, you know, all these things right here, we expect naturally, we expect other people to, you know, have these things encrypted within their DNA as well, right? But, you know, what about when Spirit said, you know, my own word, my word or whatever, my word of life, you know, would be written on their hearts, right? I don't think that was, you know, referring to everyone. I don't think that meant everybody, right? So I feel like that's something to consider too. That we kind of naturally project, you know, the world that we would want to have around us. You know, that's naturally, that's a part of manifestation. That's a part of being spiritual, right? Being a visionary. So that's the thing too about being, you know, a divine being. You know, you're a visionary because that's the part of manifesting, you know, these things, bringing these things into our reality, into the 3D. So you naturally have a more vivid mind like that, right? And especially artists, your mind is more vivid, you know, so you're able to, you know, project things into reality like much easier. So we have these expectations that we expect from people, because in our world, in our universe, it's like, yo, that's common sense. Yo, like, you should already know this. Yo, and you know, and we get very frustrated the more we encounter these people, the more we encounter these type of encounters. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, fuck this shit. But in actuality, no, you're really supposed to just really get to the point where you forgive them, because they really do not know what they're doing. They really do not understand. They don't have that same information encrypted on their hearts. They don't have marked. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like you have those people who you really do assist with awakening them. It's a matter of, you know, adding a flame, you know, to the candle or whatever, like reigniting a candle that's already within. It just takes some type of spark from someone, another person, you know, to light it up. And these people, you know, they become to awaken, you know, just like us. But then you have other people, they do not have these things encrypted within them. They don't have these things written on their heart. So we just need to get to a point where we forgive them for they know not what they do, or forgive them when they are at unevolved states, when they're at lower evolutionary states within themselves or versions of themselves. We have to be able to recognize from who we are, hey, like, this is a possibility. This is a possibility, right? Let me not internalize this. This has nothing to do with me. You know, I forgive them because they do not know, they don't know what they're doing for real. They're not at an evolved place in their mind, you know, in their psyche, in their consciousness to understand, you know, what they're doing. So it doesn't matter how much you try to explain to them. Sometimes there's some people, like, you don't stress yourself out, or, you know, discourage yourself by trying to, you know, make a person understand who is not at a place where they can receive the understanding, right? So just finally having that down pat, right? Just forgiving people, right? Forgiving people when they're weak, right? Forgiving people when they're weak, because What I mean by that, like when a demon is able to possess them and then use them against you, right? Because ultimately that's what it is. What is the condition of their vessel? Is it an abandoned house, right? Is it the kind of house where, you know, a person, you know, can break in, or people leave their doors unlocked, or right, or they allow any and everybody to come in and out of their house, right? You have to examine people's temples. Examine people's temples, right? Because ultimately that's what these bodies are. That's what these bodies are. They are houses. They are vehicles. They are vessels, vases. They are temples for a spirit, for spirits. That's why people like to say, you know, our ancestors lived through us. You know, that's a part of it too. Yes, of course, in our DNA, in our spiritual DNA. But no, when we channel spirits, right? Because we're a vessel, so we're allowing them to come in our vessel, to come in and out of our vessel, right? That's what we're doing. So understand the same thing happens with demons. Just like we see thieves and robberies and break-ins and people, you know, stealing from people at gunpoint and stuff like that. These things that we see manifest in the physical form are things taking place in the spirit, in the spiritual realm, right? The same thing is happening. So it's the same thing with demons. People get possessed. People get possessed. Demons body hop into weak vessels, into vessels that is, you can easily squatter. You can be a squatter in this vessel, right? And this temple, or it's not even a temple. It's just a house. Think about crack houses. Think about the whole concept of houses in general, or places where people, shelters. Think about these things. They all range in different conditions. So it's the same thing. Some people can break in. Some people use it, you know, to squatter because they don't have anywhere to go. Like, but you know what I'm saying? But they're trying to reap the same benefits that a person would when they do have that shelter, when they are inside of a temple, this, that, and the third. So think about these spirits that roam, these demons that roam, that no longer have that access anymore, right? No longer have that because they fumbled the ball. They fumbled that shit. So these could have been, like, the same way we experience arrogant ass personalities to this day is the same way some of these demons out here are arrogant as fuck, right? So we have to keep that in mind. So that's what I'm getting. Planet Uranus. Planet Uranus. That's what Spirit was drawing to my attention. So I'm just going to read some details, right? The Awakener. This is what Uranus is known as in astrology, right? Amongst the other planets. The Awakener, right? The dual soul of humanity is separated by the cross of matter, linking the human to the divine, supported and energized by the circle of spirit. The dual by the cross of matter. So the Christos, this is what I was thinking about. I cannot, you know, specifically recall where I saw this clip or where I got it from, but I remember I vaguely remember watching this video, and it was going deeper into like Christ consciousness, the Christos, you know, just a deeper, you know, analysis of it, opposed to what we were used to hearing about, you know, oh, white Jesus or whatever. And it showed it's something within like our DNA, our spinal column, our rib cage area, I don't know, but inside is literally a cross. It's literally a cross inside, right? So the cross of matter, alchemy. Okay. So Uranus is ruled by Aquarius. We understand that we're in the age of Aquarius, the age of truth, right? Revelation, right? All things, you know, being brought, you know, to surface, being things in the dark being brought to light. That is the era that we're in at this moment, right? So the detriment of it is Leo, which is the 5th house. Now, well, I can tell you what I know about the 5th house. 5th house energy is like, okay, so Leo energy. So this could be like the talents. So this could be, we have a lot of, we know, we have so many like devils or demonic energy, de-evolved energy, kind of running like our entertainment industries, right? So, because this is Leo energy. So this is like, you know, the Sun card, right? A person who's very charismatic, person with a big heart. It makes me, oh, yeah, the lions. But you know, you have like Scar Mufasa energy when it comes to power, and this, that, and the third, right? Power dynamics and struggles and attacks and wars over power dynamics and abuse of power, right? And then power, tyrant leaders, right, being taken down, being having to be overthrown or dethroned, right, after stealing the throne from the rightful king or queens, right? And then some type of upheaval occurring, upheaval here that occurs that basically leads to the rightful royalty, you know, retrieving their throne or their rightful place, right, in leadership. So this is what's happening. This is what is happening. And then we got exaltation in Scorpio. So what I get from it saying exaltation in Scorpio, because this is talking about like all that shit under those still waters, right? All that deep, dark, mucky shit that people don't want to talk about and address. All those secrets, those truths that we need, those things that we need that are really going to transform and shape our reality, right? Those things. This is the energy that Uranus is exalted in, right? So whatever your placement, whatever your sign is for Uranus, right? So make sure you pull up your natal chart. You can do it on cafeastrology.com or anybody who offers those type of calculations, right? Or can show you how to do it, you know, manually. You don't have to go off the computer if you don't want to. But find out what sign Uranus is in for you and then just read the information, right? Just study yourself and see if you just let spirit, you know, draw the connections with you. But yeah, and this fall is in Taurus. So Uranus is in Taurus right now, right? What I was getting is we got to get out of being able to be manipulated emotionally just because of the perceptions and our visions that we're able to have and that we're able to foresee. You know how a lot of people would say that they believed in the potential of a person, but they didn't, you know, take it as it was. Like, they didn't take the person for what they revealed or showed them who they was, right? You went off, you know, the potential, who you saw that they could be or become, right? You saw their potential. But this is talking about, you know, no, seeing things for what it is. And what I said about that upheaval, right? So some of you could be experiencing like some drama right now regarding like emotions or structure or relationships or loyalty, right? Where loyalty was questioned or loyalty was, you know, betrayed or this, that, and the third. Or you guys are vocalizing, right? Because Taurus is also in Mercury. So you're vocalizing, you know, what it is that you require for you to have stability, for you to have structure and a solid foundation in your relationships, your family life, your home life, your money, especially your money, right? With the Taurus energy. So chaos. But this chaos, this is a chaos that brings change, right? It brings on an awakening with that Uranus energy. All right. Chaos, change, vibration, right? Because your vibration and your frequency has all the more to do with this energy, like all the more to do with how you receive and respond and process this energy, process, you know, these invitations of chaos, these invitations of drama, these invitations of you getting angry and you exhausting yourself over a soul that's weaker, you know, weaker than yours. And the reason why they was even able, you know, to cause, you know, this frustration or disarray in your emotions was because their vessel was weak. And a demon jumped their vessel to work against you, only to get you in some type of emotional state, to either drain your energy or discourage you or cause you to do something to take yourself out or to curse yourself, cause you to say something out of frustration or out of pain, right? To try to curse yourself or something like that, or to say something that you really don't mean, to do something that you really wouldn't do, right? To take you out of character. But in actuality, this is like when you're supposed to have a you know what? No, I see what this is. And I forgive you because you don't know what you're doing. But I'm not about to accept that invitation because that's not who I am. I see where you at. Probably been there before. But I'm not going back there. I'm not going there. I'm not going there. I know who I am. I'm not going there. Right? So instead of trying to prove or you know, work yourself up trying to prove to a person who is obviously at a weakened state where a demon has already jumped their vessel, instead of trying to prove to them, hey, you're doing this. This is how you're doing it. Da-da-da-da-da. That's a waste of your energy. That's the test. That's the test. You're supposed to be like, no, say what you're going to say, but all that extra shit, no, you know, you're not supposed to regress in your energy. You're not supposed to regress in your emotional balance. You're not supposed to do that, nor your emotional intelligence. So this is what, you know, Uranus is really like. I want you to see this person's face. Look at this person's face. This is how Uranus energy is. This is Uranus looking at us. This is Uranus, so this is like the energy, right? That meme of like, you, nah, I ain't crazy. I know what you're doing. I know, right? That I know energy and honoring it, right? Being confident and bold in that knowing energy, not doubting what you know, not questioning what you know, just because a weak vessel is trying to come up with some type of methods or some type of schemes to get you to not be so hard on them, or not put the mirror so close to their face, and you know, and show them what they tried to keep underneath still waters. With this Scorpio energy, right? It said exaltation in Scorpio. So you bring that exaltation energy, you bring that enlightenment of what's in the dark, right? What's dark and ugly and maybe even perverse, you know, all of those things. You bring those things up, right? So Uranus, if you are this person, Uranus is going to be exalted in your energy overall. So we got chaos, change, vibration, originality, unpredictability, nonconformity, deviance, revolution, nonconformity. I had to say that again. Deviance, revolution, rebellion, higher mind, intuition, change and transformation, liberation, research, breakdown, genius, invention, and technology. This maverick planet has a highly eccentric orbit and axis spin. So a message I got was move beyond ancestral patterns, south node to north node, leaving behind what doesn't work, keeping and preserving that is good, and adding to it, build upon it, chew up the meat, spit out the bones, right? The greatest challenge for Uranus is to preside over orderly evolution that takes the best of the past into the new and makes crisis into opportunity. Like COVID, right? COVID was actually opportunity for a lot of people to come up, you know, with their own businesses and this, that, and the third, and so many ideas, and to an opportunity to go within and to pull out these, you know, these wonderful ideas, you know, these ideas that can pull you out of, you know, slavery and poverty and all this, that, and the third. So that's what Spirit is wanting you to remember, that there's something, you know, something beautiful and better, you know, coming out of this chaotic period or this chaotic experience, right? So as the higher vibration of Mercury, the universal, not personal mind, Uranus shares some of that planet's qualities. Uranus is intuitive and illogical, arriving at unexpected solutions. Uranus is intuitive, yet illogical. I shared a post today that says, crazy actually means it's right too early, right? So readers or foretellers or people like that are prophets and stuff like that. The real prophets, you know, people trying to defame them and try to make it seem like, oh, they full of shit and this, that, and the third, and no, praise the false prophets. They know what they're talking about, yada, yada, yada. But no, this is talking about an awakening happening here. This is talking about the ascension. This is talking about being persecuted for being a prophetess, for being a prophet, for being gifted. This is talking about being persecuted, being called a witch, being called these things and a devil worshiper, this, that, and the third, because you're living out your gifts. You're living out your gifts from the divine. Because you're practicing alchemy. Because you're actually really living, and you're not just here to just sleep, fuck, eat. Sleep, fucking eat. But you're really here living out your purpose, trying to learn about your purpose, taking steps to fulfill your purpose. Right. All right. So Uranus is intuitive and illogical, arriving at unexpected solutions. Uranus symbolizes independent. Uranus is the urge towards revolution and overwhelming change. So it could be feeling very overwhelming right now, like you just being fed up with shit. Like, I need change, and I'm going to have change now type shit. All right. So this energy talks about being practical regarding emotions that impact spirituality. I want to hurry up and get this out because I have to go. So right now, the sun is in Taurus. I want you to hear all these Pisces like placements right now, currently. And you can check this on AstroSeek. That's where I got it from. Sun in Taurus, Moon in Pisces, Mercury in Pisces, Venus in Pisces, Mars in Pisces, Jupiter in Pisces, Saturn in Aqua, Uranus in Taurus, Neptune in Pisces, Pluto in Capricorn, Lilith in Cancer, Chiron in Aries. Bro, you cannot make this shit up. Yo, Age of Aquarius is not playing, bro. This is a time to be alive. I don't care how fucked up it seems. I'm telling you, it's something great coming out of it. It's like you got to have the chaos before you got the chaos in itself is the revolution, is the turnover, it's that button, right? That reset. So this is the thing though with Pisces energy. So you could be experienced like a lot of dreamy like energy. There could be some illusions around, you know, loyalty, around your partnerships, around you know, your career, stuff like that. There could be some realizations, right? It depends on your energy. It depends on your frequency. It depends on if you're high vibrational or low vibrational, right? So low vibrational, they could be having all type of illusions or mental health issues and illnesses and stuff like that, right? But if you're high vibrational, that means you're having like some of the deepest realizations right now. Like you're coming into more higher knowledge, right? What did it say? Higher mind. The Uranus in Aquarian energy is of the higher mind, a rebellious higher mind, a revolutionary higher mind. A higher mind that brings unpredictable change, right? That is original, right? An original vibration that brings unpredictable change, breakdown. We're talking about the genius energy. We're talking about inventing things that's going to bring this transformation. That's going to bring us to, you know, these breakthroughs. That's going to lead us to liberation. This is what this energy is talking about. And this energy is really strong right now in Taurus season. All right. So here's my thing though with the Piscean energy, right? You know, Neptune has like a lot of like these glares around it where it's really hard to like see. It's almost like clouds, but it's not. It's really hard to see through or to penetrate through like the actual planet because of how it looks. So that's where the illusionary effect comes from the Pisces energy. But Pisces also talks about the loving energy. That's why I wanted to put 33, right? Awakening. Because think about Christ, 33. Died at 33, no, actually ascended, transformed at 33, right? You know, that type of energy. So, but 33 is also what flipped around. It's number 8, right? So it's talking about your abundance, your prosperity, right? But 3 is also what? Authenticity and integrity. So it takes for you to be authentic, to honor your authenticity and be and have integrity, right? And truth. This is literally what's going to bring you that transformation, that true Christ consciousness where nobody can't really touch you for real. When you forgive them, they persecuted you. You hanging on the cross. You feel the pain. You hurt so bad. That shit hurt so bad. It was chaotic, right? But you forgive them because you know not what they know not what they do. So you forgive them, and then what? You freed yourself. You freed yourself from this vessel. You freed yourself from this root chakra based ass, you know, matrix. You freed yourself, right? You levitated out of this shit. This is what he did at 33. Levitated. And it's authenticity. This is why you see so many people talking about authenticity now, right? I've been calling myself the Authentic Empress. I've been talking about authenticity. But so now, if you pay attention, especially now in Taurus season, this whole year, like, people have been emphasizing authenticity. Tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. Hurt me with the truth, but don't come for me with a lie. People want the truth. We're demanding this. This is awakening here. I don't want to play no games. I'm not going to play no games, right? The outsider, right? So Uranus is also the outsider. Uranus spins differently from the Uranus position, and it spins differently from the rest of the planets. In the ancient creation, let me see what I find. It is Uranus that holds the balance. Okay. In the ancient creation myths, Earth was formed out of the void and continually threatened to return to chaos. It is Uranus that holds the balance. Uranus is the planet of vibration and magnetism, attraction and repulsion. So that balance, you can attract and you repulse energies at the same time, right? You repulse the bad and you repulse the unevolved energies and you attract, you know, that which is good. But some, you know, at the same time, you attract those energies, you know, and then repulse. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It is a dynamic unifying force that holds the universe in motion. If vibration is out of sync or disequilibrium, Uranus brings it back into rhythm. If it is too rigid, Uranus shakes it loose. Drawing on its links with vibration and also inventiveness, Uranus is the planet of technology. It symbolizes all that is new and challenging and all that threatens to tear apart the fabric of society or the planet. Fabric of the plan. Tears apart the fabric of the plan. You being authentic, staying true to yourself, being original, being rebellious to people trying to make you into something that you're not, trying to pull you into energies, trying to invite you into chaos, invite you into misery because misery loves company, and invite you into buying into their perceptions of you, their illusions of you, their defamation of character, their rumors of you, invite you into getting angry and bothered and worked up and going back and forth and stooping to their level, right? When you rebel against that shit because you honor your authenticity and you know that shit, that energy that they own is not yours. It's not yours. This is how you tear up the fabric. You tear apart the fabric of the plan. the plan that they had on the masses, the plan that de-evolved, that devil energy, that demon energy, the evil has waged on the chosen, on the divine, on the pure in heart. That's how you tear apart the fabric of the planet. This is what Uranus, these are the messages Uranus have for us. Wreck-It Ref. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with this movie. There's a Facebook friend, they posted a status, his name is Nick Sullivan, and he said something about being a glitch in the matrix. I was born to be a glitch in the matrix. Think about the alchemy sign, the sign of alchemy, what people call the Star of David. What does it look like? Okay, I'm gonna tell you something else too. When I wrote glitch, I doodled this little star. That wasn't even intentionally. Look at it. That wasn't